Chief Justice Warren Burger once commented on the brevity of the Constitution. He said, "It only takes 23 minutes to read aloud, 12 if you read fast." It still seems remarkable to me, as it did to Chief Justice Burger, that a document so brief could be so flexible and durable. No other portion of the Constitution exemplifies this more than the 18th Amendment. Now, oddly enough, just as soon as Americans won our independence, we began to debate about alcohol. As a way to pay off a national debt owed to the French from the American Revolution, there was a tax that was sent out on whiskey. Colonists not only strongly objected this taxation, but they rioted in Pennsylvania, in which historians would later call the Whiskey Rebellion. Fast forward to the late 19th century, when groups such as the Anti-Saloon League politically opposed the consumption of alcohol. For religious reasons, many of the Protestant and Catholic churches sided with the Anti-Saloon League, which swung the nation into action. One memorable personality from the Anti-Saloon League was a preacher named Billy Sunday. And yes, that is his real name. Billy Sunday would go on to become one of the most influential American preachers at that time. He preached at a time when Americans were in a collective mood for idealism. He preached on women's rights to votes and labor unions, but most of all, he preached prohibition, and he preached all over the nation. He conducted more than 300 revivals with an estimated total attendance of 100 million Americans. At several of these revivals, he used a clever prop, a casket, and held a mock funeral for John Barleycorn, the fictional man who personified whiskey and beer. He preached, "The reign of tears is over. The slums will soon only be a memory. We will turn our prisons into factories and our jails into storehouses and corn cribs. The men will walk upright, the women will smile, and the children will laugh. Hell will forever be for rent." Of course, it wasn't just Billy Sunday preaching prohibition. By the year 1916, 23 states had laws against alcohol and saloons. State laws paved the way for the Prohibition Amendment to be crafted in the Congress chambers. When passed in 1919, it effectively illegalized the manufacturing, sale, and transportation of liquor across America. Part of me wishes that Billy Sunday would have been right and that John Barleycorn would have actually died in America, but of course that didn't happen. Things went from bad to worse. First off, prohibition significantly hurt the economy, and crime actually rose by 24% from the increased illegal manufacturing and smuggling, even the increased gang murders and prostitution rates. After some pushing by a bootlegger congressman named George Cassidy, a group known as the Wets of Congress saw that America was ready to repeal. And of course, the 18th Amendment would be overridden by the 21st Amendment in 1933. Your preferences about alcohol aside, but the 18th Amendment, the Prohibition Amendment, and the overturnment by the 21st Amendment duly note how our country has both politically and socially evolved over time. The 18th Amendment reminds us again of the flexibility and durability of this great document we call the Constitution. I'm happy to report that I myself met Chief Justice Burger's challenge and read the Constitution in just under 23 minutes. I challenge each and every one of you to do the same. It is our duty and responsibility as American citizens to study and understand the components of this great document we call the Constitution. Only 23 minutes to read aloud, but its impacts on all of us are immeasurable.